Pats Nation, what is up? It is Patriots Global back here with another video, and this has already been such a crazy offseason, and not even looking at the Patriots, just in general, the NFL has been so insane, all the way from the trades, the releases, the signings, to even the amount of crazy players that have retired. Looking at who the Patriots lost in free agency, they lost two of their most important players, that being their left tackle in Trent Brown and their defensive end, Trey Flowers. We kind of talked about both. I made a whole video on the Lions signing Trey Flowers. I made a video on the Trent Brown one, but ultimately I didn't get it edited until, a few days later, and at that point I'm sure nobody really cared, so I just never ended up posting it. But throughout my other videos I did talk about it. I did reference it, but today I'm going to make a whole video dedicated on how the Patriots can replace Trey Flowers next season and how they can also replace Trent Brown. So to start off with Trey Flowers, the first way that the Patriots can, start to try to replace him and his productivity is to use Demaryius Jr. more. Now, in his first two seasons, Wise has deployed as the third defensive end in the Patriots rotation. He played 51% and 41% of the snaps in his first 2 years in defense. Now, obviously, his first year with the Patriots, his rookie year, he vividly saw more time, vividly had a better season than he did last year. But I mean, at the same time, he also took, a 10% amount of less defensive snaps than he did his first year. You look at who the Patriots have right now, and you have Michael Bennett, who kind of now just takes in that Trey Flowers role, but then they also lost Adrian Claiborne, so there's pretty much your number two guy. So now with who the Patriots have right now, Demaryius easily becomes the Patriots' number two defensive end. In Wise's first two seasons, he has produced 9.5 sacks and 35 quarterback hits. So I believe the biggest piece to this puzzle is truly putting in Demaryius more often. He is a really strong defensive end. He is a big defensive end, and I love this guy's power. I love his enthusiasm. There's just nothing that I don't not like about Demaryius. In all honesty, I was there last season, even his rookie season, I was saying how I just wish the Patriots would play him more. And you just look at every other guy that the Patriots have on that, defensive end position, and no one really sticks out to me. Demaryius at this time is the only guy that I say plugs into that number two position. And honestly, I'm okay with him taking on a bigger and better role for his third year. Now, this next one is a bit of a long shot, but it is developing Keontae Davis and Derek Rivers even more. So many people are high on Derek Rivers, and there is stuff in him. There are abilities and traits in him where I can see why you would feel that, but he isn't someone that I am definitely as high on as other people are. As we all know, Rivers ended up tearing his ACL his first year with the Patriots in a joint practice with the Texans. Then you flash forward to the following offseason. So many people are going crazy about him, and they say that he is going to be this missing piece that the Patriots didn't have on their defensive line. Ultimately, he wasn't that. Now, with time, as time went on this past season, we saw him start to get better, but definitely nothing that makes you go, well, he's a starting defensive end. Not by any means. I mean, Demaryius is definitely better than Derek Rivers is. But the Patriots coaching staff has definitely praised Derek Rivers a good amount, and they do see something in him that they do want to develop. So I think they really need to start to focus more on Derek Rivers, and not necessarily to plug him in next season and be like, okay, we're pushing you into this starting position, but to help further develop him more. I mean, now that certain guys are gone, he could get into the rotation more than he used to. In college, he was a guy with great athleticism and explosiveness, and that's something that could really help this Patriots defensive line. Something that we've kind of seen him lack, but maybe that is because of his ACL injury, but he is now becoming 2 years off of that, so hopefully he can get 100% back to his old self and somehow carve himself a kind of role. Keontae Davis, on the other hand, is a guy that saw even more time than Derek Rivers actually did. Now, he played more in the beginning of the season, and then as time went on, the Patriots kind of were like, all right, you're not necessarily producing or doing what we were hoping. So they ended up taking him out. But they saw something in him that they wanted to play him that much. And really what that was his speed. He is a fast type of guy. He's a guy that can go back into coverage, a guy that can play more of that linebacker-style defensive end position. And I don't expect him to be a starter for the Patriots or anything like that, but maybe a nice serviceable backup, someone that can come in as a rotation and maybe bring something new in. But between Keontae Davis and Derek Rivers, I would definitely push the Derek Rivers one more. But again, by no means am I saying starting. Some people want the Patriots still to trade for a defensive end, and a while ago, maybe I would say they trade for a defensive end, but at this point, I truly just don't think they do, unless somehow, for some reason, this becomes such a big need, especially after them trading already for Martellus Bennett. I don't necessarily see them trading for another defensive end, again, unless something unexpected happens. For them to fill the rest of the void at that defensive end position, I really just see the Patriots going to the draft from here on out. This year's draft is definitely a crazy one, but it's filled with just so much endless talent, especially when it comes to, the defense. And so I really think that we are going to see the Patriots select defensive end, and maybe even more than once. A lot of Pats fans are kind of agreed and disagreed on where the Patriots will actually get one. I still feel that they could get one higher up in the draft, but some people feel that they will wait later in the rounds. Ultimately, we'll just have to see, but I do think that they'll get one higher up in the draft and just get a guy that they can plug in and make a difference. Not a guy that they have to develop or anything like that. A guy that they can plug in day one and be like, all right, we're going to work with this. This is what we need. We're going to plug you in right here. When it comes to more specific guys that the Patriots could draft, I'm higher on guys like Zach Allen. Some people are not that high on him, but I personally am. There is a couple of other guys that I am high on, but I don't want to get totally into all those names and those players, as there is still some draft prospect videos that I want to come out with. But ultimately, in a nutshell, all around, that is how the Patriots are going to replace Trey Flowers. So moving on to left tackle, Isaiah Wynn is more than likely the answer here. As we all know, Trent Brown was traded to the Patriots. He was originally a San Francisco 49er. The Patriots traded right before the start of the draft. And he did really good for the Patriots. I mean, having a guy that is just that big was just insanely helpful and benefited the Patriots in multiple different ways. But as we all know, he just signed an insane deal with the Raiders. Last draft, the Patriots selected Isaiah Wynn with what I believe was the 23rd pick overall, the Patriots' first pick in the first round. Go through camp, and he was not expected to be the starting left tackle. We all knew that was going to be Trent Brown. And then you get to the preseason game. I believe that was his first preseason game he was playing, and within the first few snaps that he was on the field, he ended up getting a very serious injury and ultimately ended up tearing his Achilles and was out the rest of the season. It does not matter what position you are in football, coming off an ACL injury or an Achilles injury that keeps you out the entire season is never ideal, is never good, and Isaiah Wynn is not going to come back 100%. He's not. It's going to take some time for him to adjust, to get ready, to get back into the NFL, for him and his mind and his body, most importantly, to adjust. But in the end, you look at who the Patriots have, and there is no one else that is going to replace him? The Patriots don't have Cameron Fleming anymore. They lost the Adrian Waddle this offseason to the Buffalo Bills. And again, they wasted, well, I won't say wasted, they used a first-round pick on him. So obviously he was going to become a starter. Now, as for trade, the Patriots could always trade for, a tackle. It's something I honestly could see. A lot of people don't see it, but it's something I could see. Not necessarily a guy, extremely high up. But again, a trade would more so come if the Patriots start to panic. They realize that they need more help at tackle than they originally realized. I don't think it is something that is more likely to happen, but there definitely is a chance of it happening. Ultimately, this comes down to two things, and this is going to be the two biggest things for the rest of the offseason, and that is free agency and the draft. Now, when the Patriots lost Nate Solder to the Giants, they didn't necessarily know what they wanted to do. They ended up drafting Isaiah Wynn, and that's kind of who was circled around, but they also signed a lot of different tackles. I mean, let's all admit for a second, the Patriots went berserk last offseason when it came to signing multiple guys to this offensive line and trying to find some type of gem. I mean, you had Erlich John, you had Matt Tobin, just to name a few guys. Now, as of right now, the Patriots have not made that many signings when it comes to offensive linemen. The last one was Cedric Lane, who I made a video on if anybody wants to go check that out. But at this moment, they have not signed that many guys, which to me is a bit surprising. But I do still expect them in the future at some point to end up signing more of these offensive linemen, more specifically, though, these tackles. But I also think they look more onto who's already on the team, guys who are on the practice squad, guys who are on that 53-man roster already, guys like Cole Croston, stuff like that, to bring them in, because they know the system, they've been in this for a while, and kind of give them more of a chance also. Now, moving on to the draft. Now, I don't expect the Patriots to use another first-round pick on a tackle. It just wouldn't make sense. I would be highly shocked if that happened. Now, of course, that's always an option. That's always something, Bill Belichick could do, as we all make these moves in our head about what the Patriots should do, and then Bill Belichick does the last thing. And what is the last thing in everyone's head? The Patriots end up drafting another offensive lineman. So, I mean, for our luck, that's exactly what's going to happen. But in my life, realistically, what the Patriots should do, or, could do, is draft a tackle in the second or third round. The Patriots have many second and third rounds. They have multiple of them. But trying to get a guy that has more upside in case Isaiah Wynn doesn't work out, in case Isaiah Wynn's injury ends up needing more time than originally expected. I don't think that they wait till the 6th or 7th round, as that would be pretty stupid, but at the same time, I could also see the Patriots getting multiple offensive linemen in this draft, maybe getting one higher up again in the 2nd or 3rd round, but then getting another one, taking a shot on a guy in like the 6th or 7th. Ultimately, though, when the Patriots draft left tackles, number one, it does not seem to usually work out for them very well, but number two, they never end up coming into the Patriots and starting year one. The last time that actually happened was in 2001 when the Patriots drafted Matt Light. But in the end, it's just creating depth and trying to find a guy who can really serve as a nice backup in that position, or again, if Isaiah Wynn needs more time, then a guy that can be plugged in and trusted until Isaiah Wynn could come back. But that is it for today's video. What are your guys' thoughts on the replacement of Trey Flowers and Trent Brown? Let me know in the comments below. Also, make sure you guys like and subscribe, as it helps me, the channel, and even you guys out very, very, very much. Make sure you guys share this video with everybody who knows the Patriots Global family. And other than that, I will catch you guys in another video.